dream for nearly 20 years, a place to play Louisiana music for the world to hear. Longtime DJ, entertainer, and Southwest Louisiana resident Paul Marks grew tired of the ongoing refusal from commercial stations to play the music of local recording artists.
So he sold everything he owned and put his life savings into his own radio station. Different kind of radio station with the priority of playing and promoting the music of Louisiana artists. Producer Tickalodin tells us more.
They came to a new land, seeking an old way of life. Louisiana's Acadians, or Cajuns as we know them today, have maintained that way of life for nearly 250 years. And one Louisiana Cajun, 57-year-old Vietnam veteran Paul Marks, also came to a new land of sorts in more recent times, his own radio station. Frustrated with the lack of support from local radio for a local recording artist, Marks felt it was time to do something to keep his heritage alive.
They gave a Saturday morning slot for music, okay? And it was more or less known as Maman Papa's music. And my fear was that the young people, the younger generation, is not going to listen to Maman Papa's music. That was one of the things that I had in mind when I put this station together as well, is how do we get the younger audience? How do we get people who just won't listen to a Cajun show, hear Cajun music?
Located in the heart of Cajun Prairie Land in downtown Eunice, Louisiana, KBON, known as Kbon to the locals, operates as a 24-hour, 25,000-watt FM station. KBON's Louisiana Proud format features a diverse mix of regional programming and live performances and conversations with a special Louisiana flavor.
I think Kbon is a really amazing station. They've realized that the local music that people love goes into a bunch of directions. It's Cajun, it's Zydeco, it's rhythm and blues, it's soul, it's Louisiana music. You know, embedded in the call letters is the joke on Kbon. You know, how great, how good. And they've managed to not only hold down this local audience, but through the internet and a variety of ways to reach much wider audiences. And they're kind of, you know, gutsy frontier pioneers with what they're doing. And I'd love to see more commercial stations try that sort of thing.
First of all, I wanted it on the internet for exactly what it's going to be, is to let people around the world hear about us. And when I say us, I don't talk about KBON. I'm talking about us as a people down here. So it was very important that they can listen. And now we've had musicians tell me that they picked up jobs in England, in Germany, in France, in Canada, and all over the country because people heard their music here.
With the stirrings of music up front and the gumbo pot in the back, it's Louisiana all the way down the wall of fame, with faces and signatures of many well-known artists and newcomers displayed side by side.
Well, Kbon is the only station in all of Louisiana that has such an open-door policy to singers and musicians, for one thing. The people that put out, anybody can make a record or a CD these days. Back in the old days, they were kind of particular as to who they would let record or who could. Nowadays, anybody that has the money can put out a CD or record, and that's good because they can get it played now on Kbon, whereas before there were no stations that played local music. In fact, you can go today. I could take my records and go to most stations around here and ask them, and they'll tell you right away, we don't play local records. You know, they stick to the national top 20 or top 40, and that's all they play. Fortunately for the local singers and musicians, there is Kbon. And it's probably the only station. Some of the others, they'll have a 2-hour or 3-hour show where they may play some local records, or for the most part, it's not done. Over here, everybody's record gets played. Everybody's CD gets played. And so it gets introduced. If it's a hit, fine. If it's not, they still got the airplay, and it makes it worth doing.
It's open house at KBON Studios, and visitors are always welcome. You never know whom you'll run into among the musicians, locals, and tourists. But one thing is certain, you're sure to pass a good time.
Kbon 101, that's everybody's station. But not for certain people, that's our station.
What we gonna do? Something that Rick and I wrote is called I'll Do Whatever It Takes.
All right, let's do it.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes.
Yeah, oh, let me tell you something I think you ought to know. Here's just a list of promises to help I see love. I'll buy you a mansion, 16 by 48. I'll put down the bottom and stop coming home so late.
And if you are in the mood for good music, good food, and good conversation, stop by the Kbon Studios located at 109 South 2nd Street in Eunice. You'll find it all there.